So after you've logged in, we're going to go ahead and navigate to the overview page, which you see now. So the overview screen is essentially a dashboard. Here you can see our two clusters that we've created, the AWS cluster and our IBM cluster. And below that, you'll see that we have one application that we've deployed. And next to that, you'll also see the two clusters, which I just talked about before. So now we'll go ahead and move into our clusters overview. So we'll go ahead and click on the hamburger and select clusters. So here you can see the two clusters that we're managing, our IBM cluster, which is the local cluster, which our MCM is running on, and our AWS, which is a remote cluster. What we mean by management is we had to add the MCM clusterlet to these clusters so that MCM can manage them. So you'll want to keep in mind that MCM doesn't automatically manage the clusters. You will need to determine which clusters will be managed. So now we'll go ahead and take a closer look at the applications we've deployed. So we'll select the hamburger and select applications. So before we look at our application, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Helm chart. Here in our Helm chart, you can see our two deployables, the Mod Resort app and the Mod Resort Chan, which is our channel. So now we're going to go ahead and drill in this on the overview page. So we'll go back to the applications and click on our application. And here below, you can see our resource topology. So at the top, you'll be able to see our application, which is the Mod Resort app. And below that, you'll see our Mod Resort Chan, which is the channel. And to the right of that, you'll see our placement rules. And our placement rules are in place, so that way we can subscribe a cluster to a channel. So now let's take a look at how we use specific labels to push the application from our placement rules to the local cluster. So we'll go ahead and go back to the cluster interface and take a look at the labels. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and look at the local cluster labels. The one label that we're going to focus on here is the environment equals dev, because this label knows to push the application to the cluster. So say that you wanted to target another cluster, then all we would have to do is add the environment equals dev to the other cluster. So now that we've finished looking at this, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what the application actually looks like. So we'll navigate over to that page. And here you can see our Mod Resorts application that we have deployed. So you can select where to, and you can select wherever you'd like to visit. So in this case, we'll do San Francisco. And you can see the dates at the top that we've selected. It shows the weather conditions, temperature, and wind. And this is our project.